Good afternoon, guys. It's Workin bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar. This is the one-day chart on Coinbase, guys, and I'm going to try to go through a couple coins on this update, guys, and just give you a quick overview of all of them. Not spending a whole lot of time on any one. Right now, as I said, looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar one-day chart, we're still operating within what looks like the possible making of an ascending triangle here, which is an overall bullish sign, even though I do think there's a good chance that we may see a breakdown here. As you know, in my last couple updates, I talked about Bitcoin bouncing off of this area, was sitting in the bottom of this area, which was this ascending support line here. I told you likely it was looking like it was breaking up, and yesterday I told you I'd be looking for resistance right here around $5,350, and that's exactly where it looks like it's about to bounce off of. It's gotten up to approximately 525 here on Coinbase. We'll see if it can get up there to that 550 area here, guys, but I've got a good mind. If it does come up to this area, find a lot of resistance at that 5350, I will very likely short it down here to approximately 5100, 5150, somewhere thereabouts, guys. But just continuing to trade this range. Nothing has changed since yesterday, guys. I still think, as I told you yesterday, it's following this trajectory pretty well. Still think we're going to come off here, possibly come in there, hit this zone here, and then it's going to be a decision point once we reach here. Are we going to break up? Are we going to break down? As of right now, guys, I do think we're seeing some very bullish momentum in the market. I can see a scenario, and again, this is probability wise, in my opinion. I think we're going to break up. We're going to hit resistance either between 56 and 5800, somewhere in there, and then we're going to get a nice break right back down. Now, even if we do get that break back down, guys, as long as 5,000 holds, that would be extremely bullish. That being said, as I've been saying, guys, I think we're still going to come down to this $4,500 area. I still don't think we've had that a major breakdown, and I still do think that's going to that is needed to get a nice bounce off this area and then continue upwards. Doesn't mean it has to happen. Absolutely not, guys. I do think, though, probability wise, that is going to happen here in the next week or two. Now, if Bitcoin does break down, guys, I'm going to be watching this trend line right here. Actually, right. Oh, grab it there. There we go. Right here, anything at or above this line, guys, I will consider just a nice healthy correction, and then I would expect a nice little bounce off this zone. Anything below this line, guys, I'm going to start to get a little concerned. If we do break 4,000, guys, I'm going to start to get very concerned. I think if 4,000 breaks, as I've been saying, I think there's a good chance we're going to come back down and retest this low at approximately 3150. That being said, I'm not expecting this to break, guys. I am leaning more and more bullish overall, even though I do think we're due for a decent correction. Overall, I'm leaning more and more bullish, guys, definitely more than 50%. Things are just looking very, very good in the market. We're getting altcoins popping. There's just too many bullish looking things in the market here to be able to ignore this. That being said, guys, typically if everybody goes bull, you better believe that the market makers are going to, there's a good chance they could take this thing right back down. So we're going to be monitoring very closely longs and shorts. Coming over here, looking at shorts, we are seeing some movement. Shorts are starting to stack here. In fact, just in the last 24 hours or so, we've seen shorts come up approximately, I think, 18%. Let's see. Right around, yeah, right exactly about 18% or so. We come over here and we look at longs. Longs also stacking. So we're seeing that traders are starting to hedge their bets. Here in the last 24 hours or so, we've seen longs stack approximately 8% or so. So longs are outpacing shorts overall, but shorts are stacking a little bit faster than longs. Of course, if that does continue, that sets up for a nice little short squeeze where we could see price getting driven up to liquidate those short positions. Coming over here and looking at the daily, guys, we can see that, obviously Bitcoin is maintaining itself above this 8-day EMA. Not too relevant, guys. The 21-day EMA is the very relevant zone that I want to see Bitcoin remain above. Of course, I can accept a wick below that, but if we get a decisive break below the 21-day EMA, in other words, if we get a daily candle both open and close below the 21-day EMA, I do think it'll be a quick drop here to about the 200-day moving average, which, of course, is right at that $4,500 zone that I've been talking about. Of course, the main thing that everybody is looking at, though, guys, is this 200-day moving average and this 50-day moving average to see if those can cross. If we can get the 50 crossing above the 200-day moving average, that'd be a golden cross, guys. And for those of you, as I said, that aren't traders, in the last update I told you, those of you that aren't traders, that's an extremely bullish sign. And you better believe if we do get that golden cross, there's going to be a lot more interest in the market. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap Bitcoin there very quickly. Looking at EOS, guys. EOS is still consolidating. Looks like it's getting squeezed tighter and tighter within a little bit of a wedge here. If we come out here and look at the daily chart, we can see that we're settling right below this very, very relevant demand zone here between about 610. Really, it goes up a little bit higher than that, 620, somewhere thereabouts. But this, no question, we're in this major demand zone here, guys. We're huddling just below this major demand zone between about 590 and 610. In fact, if I come over here to the weekly chart, you can see it a lot better. We can see that every time Bitcoin finally, or excuse me, not Bitcoin, EOS finally broke down here, as I explained yesterday. Every time it tried to break back into this zone, we had a wick, rejection, and then of course it broke back down, creating a decent demand zone right here. Of course, fast forward here for about let's see, 4 months. We're coming back up, retesting that demand zone. Of course, we can see that demand zone holding strong. Wick, 2 solid rejections here. I'm telling you, there's still a lot of sell orders that are sitting up in here, coming back in here to the daily chart. So as I said, guys, we're coming back around, retesting a very strong area of resistance, sitting right below that. This is what makes, this is what makes EOS a very difficult trade, because if we can break above $6 and that starts acting as support, you want to long EOS all day long. I think EOS is going to be one of the most bullish coins here in the next 6 months, in the next 4 to 6 months. I really strongly believe EOS is going to be very, very, very strong. 6 weeks, in the next 6 weeks, leading up to that June announcement. But that being said, guys, we can't ignore this very strong resistance right there at approximately $6 between 590 and 610. And if we get a rejection off that area, guys, the next area that we're going to be looking at if we do break down is going to be the bottom of this zone, really right in here. Right between approximately $5 and $5.20. That breaks down. We're going to be looking at a very quick drop down to about $4.50. So EOS is a really risky play right now, in my opinion. If you're looking to day or swing trade, it's a little bit of a risky trade, guys. However, if you're looking into dollar cost average into a coin for the long haul, I do think EOS is a very, very strong coin, especially in the next 6 weeks or so. Yeah, even though I think we can get a better price as of right now, I think we may get a little bit of rejection. I think we may come back down and test $5. I'd ladder in definite buy orders, at least starting at $5, with heavy orders down here at $4.50 if we do get a breakdown. But in the short term, guys, I would kind of sit and wait and see which way EOS is going to break. Certainly, this is not financial advice. You want to hedge your bets however you'd like to do. But overall, EOS, I do think, is a very, very strong coin, even though I do think we have a little bit more downside to go. Maybe one more drop here to that $5 area before we do break above that $6 range. Quickly looking at ETH. We'll go ahead and finish EOS there. Looking at ETH here, guys, ETH finally broke above this $165 resistance that had been getting rejected off so many times here in the past. It broke above, came back down, hit resistance at about $1.85. We can see that was prior support back here, so that was expected. Came back down. What was support acted as resistance. We had a nice little bounce off of that, and we're sitting currently at approximately $173. If you're looking to buy ETH, guys, I'd wait until we get above 185. I do think right now you're kind of in a no trade zone. We've got this ascending support line that it's been following fairly well. I do think as we approach 185, we may get a little bounce off that zone, a little rejection off that zone, coming back down to retest this ascending support line. I think it's a sell at 185. I think it's a buy at anywhere in this ascending support line here for a very quick scalp trade. If we do break above 185 and then come back down for the retest and 185 starts acting as support, that's when I'll go long on ETH, and I'll be targeting this area right up here at about 210-ish, somewhere thereabouts. All right, let's move on and look at Binance Coin very, very quickly. Guys, Binance Coin, this is by popular demand. Had a lot of requests for this, guys. Binance Coin is probably one of the most bullish-looking coins of 2019, without question. We had a textbook breakout of this descending resistance line, guys, and it just doesn't get any more textbook than that. Breakout, nice, what was resistance, came back, acts as support, and of course, we've just been off to the races ever since. We broke up above a couple areas of resistance. The most relevant one we just broke above was 1726, and when I say just, this was back back on March 23rd. We took out that high on, or excuse me, not on March 23rd. That was on March 31st. We took out that the prior high from back here. We had this double top, and then of course we went back down on this all the way down to approximately 445. Came back up, guys. Finally broke up back up above this 1726, and this is a textbook breakout of very hard resistance, guys. This is how you want to buy. You don't want to buy the breakout here because you don't know if you're just going to wick above. What you want to do is you want to wait for the breakout, just like Binance did, and then you want to come back down and you want to look for that retest. And of course, Binance did come right back down, retested what was support, textbook acted as resistance, and of course, then it took off from there. And this is the area you'd want to buy. You don't want to buy the breakout, you want to buy the retest. Every single time, guys. A lot of people tell you to buy the breakout. You don't. You want to buy the retest. Again, the majority of time, it's not financial advice, just my opinion. And so, of course, Binance came back down, retested that 1726, really wicked right below it there, but the body at 1726. And then, of course, we're back up to all-time, or not all-time highs, but we're back up to new highs for 2019. Extremely bullish looking right now, guys. I think the next area of resistance we're going to be looking at is 2342. The top of a couple of these wicks down here, we had a rejection at 2342 on 1, 2. Of course, we broke up above 1 time, 3 times, and then right back down here. So I do think this is the next major area of resistance, 2342. Doesn't mean we're going to come back up here in the short term. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see if we come back down and have a little bit of a retrace, and I'm going to be watching for a bounce right here off of this prior high. I'm going to be looking for a bounce, and I will re-enter on Binance Coin somewhere around 1976 all the way down to, of course, this prior low, or excuse me, this prior high in this area of resistance all the way down to about 1726. I'd ladder, I think anything below that all the way down to and including 1726 is a good buy, in my opinion, for Binance Coin. And I do think we are going to have a little bit of a retrace here in the short term. If I zoom in here, this is again looking at the daily. We can see if we go point to point, obviously price here has created a higher high. If we look at the exact same point on the histogram, again on the daily, we created a lower high. This is clearly an uptrend, so that is going to be bearish divergence, guys, and that would suggest a small little retracements here. So I do think you're going to be able to get into Binance Coin here at least 1960, if not down here at 1726 here in the not too distant future. Now, does that mean it can't go a little bit higher here in the short term? Absolutely not, guys. It certainly could go higher. This is not financial advice at all, and I do think if you're dollar cost averaging into a coin, Binance Coin is one of those coins, guys, that you really, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, is really one of those coins you can't go wrong. I do think that it's going to be an extremely, extremely well-performing coin here in the next year or so. All right, another coin I had a lot of requests for was BAT, Basic Attention Token, guys. That's also another extremely well-performing coin for 2019. Without question, we broke up above this descending resistance line, guys. What was resistance started acting as support, another textbook breakout here, and we've broken through many areas of resistance here in the last few weeks, guys. This most recent one, finally breaking above this 27 cent range. That was, if I go back here, sorry, I didn't draw this out very well. If we go back here, guys, we can see that we can trace that area of what was resistance here. Of course, it acted a little bit of support. Of course, breakdown, resistance here, and of course, it's acting as support now. So this 27 cent range is very relevant, guys. I do think we're coming back up. We just broke up above another very relevant area of resistance at 36 cents, guys. We'll see if we can close above 36 cents today. If it does, I think that'll be very bullish. I think we only have, well, actually, we just started a new day, so we'll see if that can close above that 36 cents for today, guys. But we're looking extremely, extremely bullish. I think the next major area, we have to take out this prior high from November of about 39 cents. In the short term, guys, I do think we're going to have a little bit of a correction. If we come in here, pardon me, we come in here, guys, and I'm still fighting this cold, guys, so I do apologize for my raspy voice. Hopefully you can understand me. But if we come in here, guys, and we look at point to point, obviously we created a higher high. And if we come down here and we look at the histogram, very similar to what we were looking at with Binance Coin, we can see that the histogram, this is again on the daily chart, guys, created a lower high. Clearly that is bearish divergence, and that would suggest a little bit of a pullback. I wouldn't be surprised to see Basic Attention Token come back down, possibly down to 27 cents. I honestly don't think so, guys. I do think, excuse me. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I think a more likely pullback is going to be somewhere in this area here at about 29.30 cents. I do think if it does end up pulling back to that area, guys, that's an absolute buy, in my opinion, all the way down to this 27-cent range. I do think somewhere in there would be an absolute must buy, in my opinion. However, if you're looking again for a coin to hold, to just put into your portfolio and hold for the long haul, like Binance Coin, I think BAT is another one of those coins, guys, where you just can't go wrong over the next couple of years. Again, in my opinion, not financial advice. It's obviously certainly a risk, guys, but I do think this fundamentally, I do think that Basic Attention Token is one of the strongest coins you can have in your portfolio at this point. The next major area of resistance we've got to get through, as I was saying, is this 39-cent range. I want to see 39 cents start acting as support. Before that happens, we need to see 36 cents start acting as support, guys. So I want to see 36 cents act as support. I want to see a bounce off that area. I want to see 39 get cleared and 39 start acting as support, guys. I think these are the next couple major areas that we've got to get past. But let's see if 36 cents can turn into support here in the short term. And finally, we're going to go ahead and wrap things with XRP. We're looking at Ripple, guys. We can see that Ripple did break out of this descending resistance line like so many. We didn't get the breakout that everybody, I do think a lot of people and a lot of analysts were expecting a little more performance from Ripple over the last month or so. We haven't gotten that. But one thing I can say about Ripple is we have had a consistent ascending, very small, but nonetheless a nice ascending support line that has been in place for quite some time, going all the way back to 2017. And it seems to be respecting that as of now. We can see that it broke out of this descending triangle here. Now, typically that would be a breakdown. However, it kind of broke up here, which was a pretty bullish sign in my opinion. That being said, we had a very strong area. If I kind of zoom in here, we had a strong supply zone right up here between 38 cents and 40 cents. Ripple came back up, tested that zone just briefly, the bottom of that zone, and then was rejected very hard, coming back down. Didn't quite make it to the ascending support line that we've been watching here, very close. Almost, I guess it depends on how I draw, but fairly close, guys. Bounced off that area, and we'll have to wait and see where it goes from here. For now, though, guys, I do think a Ripple down here, anything down here at 30 cents, I think is a buy. Anything up here between 38 and 40 cents, I think is an absolute sell. And then what we need to see with Ripple is we've got to see Ripple clear this supply zone. This is a major hurdle that Ripple's got to get past. If we can clear the supply zone, the top of which sits at 40 cents, and that 40 cents starts acting as support, then that's going to be a very bullish sign for Ripple. I do think the next stop, once that starts acting as support, we get a strong bounce off that area. I do think the next stop is going to be about 47, probably even 50 cents for Ripple. There's just not much resistance in between that. But this very, very stubborn area of resistance is going to be one that it's got to get past. If we do, for some reason, break below this ascending support line here, as I said, at the moment that sits at approximately, if we were to break right down now, that'd be at approximately 31 cents. But if that does end up breaking down that ascending support line, guys, I do think it'll be a very quick drop to at least 28 cents down here. If not, if that broke down, we could be coming down much, much, much lower. I don't anticipate that to happen, but you never know. Ripple is one of those coins, guys, that it's just, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. Everyone's got their opinions on Ripple. I'm going to keep it with technical analysis for now. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things there, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I would appreciate an upvote if you have enjoyed this content. Till next time, guys, please trade safe. Take care of yourselves. This is Workin, signing out.